I want to talk a little bit about warm-ups because that is something that has become a routine inside of exercise for a lot of people. Like exercise is a routine for them, but an important stitched onto the beginning part of that exercise is taking possibly 10 or 15 minutes to go and warm up. And I've actually seen that be an issue for people where they think they need to do this long workup and they can't warm up and they can't get through the rest of their work, or they don't actually have the time to spend 90 minutes in the gym, and there's some important stuff to do in their A's through D's, but they feel like they need all of this stuff on the front end to get ready and get going. And if they don't have that, then they can't get to the rest of the good stuff. So yeah, I just want to have a bit of a discussion around where that routine came from and whether it's actually important.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I think, it probably came naturally, kind of the story that I just told of people feeling like they need to do something to feel better. So it's like that, or it came from, papers saying that, there's some potentiation things that you should do prior to doing this other thing to, perform this thing at its maximal potential. There's things where there's people that have limitations and their program design isn't actually built for the limitations that they have, and they need 15, 20, 30 minutes of preparatory work to be able to do the program design. There's situations where someone's training at a certain time of the day and they feel like they have to do something to get going, right? To start, ramping up cortisol to be able to feel really good, to hit an effective training session or whatever they have there. So I think it's, personal pieces with limitations, or just a mental thing of having to feel ready. And then there's the performance aspect as well, where it's an effective warm up is just that. It's effective if the goal is, if someone came in and they're like, hey, I'm doing doubles at 90% in the back squat, there should be something that leads to doubles at 90% in the back squat, right? So that warm up or that prep work might just be working your way through, loads in the back squat until you hit 90%. For one person, for another person, it might be that's my hips feeling a little bit janky. I have this hip flow routine that I do before that thing. I don't think any of that stuff is wrong. It's just, when we look at what you laid out initially, where people feel like they have to do it. That's what gets a little bit weird. It's no, you don't have to warm up every single time you come into the gym. If you have to warm up every time you come into the gym, just ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Right? If you have to warm up for 20 minutes before doing A, maybe think about not doing A and making that a different, not skipping it, but changing the exercise selection and what A is.
Yeah. I just speaking from personal experience, have gone from that person who warmed up for 20, 30 minutes years ago to pulling that back. I feel like every year it's a little bit less, but program design has also become more personalized. And what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing inside of the gym is no longer, pushing into positions that I shouldn't be in. I'm definitely got better sleep and better lifestyle as well. I don't have all the joint issues that I used to have. So some of that stuff would take some time to address, just because I wasn't recovering on the back end. But
I think it's beneficial for people to, get body temperature up before they
yep.
do, the first thing, especially if they're 6 a.m. Trainers or trainees, right? Where it's yeah, it's probably beneficial to kind of wake up your joints and stuff like that. And the older that you get, you probably need to do that a little bit more. But from a coach's standpoint, I think we need to get away from thinking that we always have to have this comprehensive warm up on a day-to-day basis. A, because your client shouldn't really need it, depending on what they're doing. And B, it just takes a lot of time and effort from your standpoint. It's are you progressing warm-ups? If you're not, and you're just saying, this is my warm-up routine, I'm just going to slap that on, this thing for into perpetuity. It's why don't you just put what I do, and I'm not saying what I do is right, but for people that don't have limitations, because I do have clients that have limitations and I have to think through warm-ups, but people that don't, and they're just going in and they're exercising, it's hey, 5 minutes warm up of choice. Just get your body temperature up, do whatever you want to do. So I think that's okay for people to come in and feel like they have to move before they go into their thing. I don't think that's terrible. I just don't think, you doing a warm up or not, a specific routine, needs to be the thing that sets you up for failures or success in a training session.